So let's talk about the Cusick family because we're about to bring them on. And before I do, I wanted to talk about how I got connected to them. So a couple nights ago, I believe it was Saturday night, I was reading, it was Friday or Saturday night, I was reading an article, Friday night. I was reading an article on the Gateway Pundit like at midnight, and it's very rare I even open my phone that late. I'm reading, I see this article pop up about this family that their dad and their son, James and Casey, were both arrested at 6 o'clock in the morning that same exact day. And, you know, I'm reading the article, I'm like, man, this is crazy. And the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm like, okay, he had to commit violence. They had to vandalize. They had to do something. Well, then you start reading the article. It says that they did not do that. I'm like, okay. So then you scroll all the way down to the bottom of this article, and I'm grateful I saw these videos. There's these two videos where, you know, Casey's residence, they had the ring. And you see the video of when you had like 10 to 15 agents outside their house with, you know, semi-automatics out. And, I mean, they were just, it was like, you would have thought that they were arresting Osama bin Laden. And seeing this video, and I'm going to let them tell the story, but after seeing both videos, I had to make a post about them. The family reached out to me the following day. Incredible family. I drove down to Melbourne, got to meet the whole family. Unbelievable family. And I'm going to let them tell their story. But what they told me, and we even got an interview that's going to come out in a couple days. What they told me was everything that I feared. I was hoping they were going to say, no, they destroyed a window. They did this. They did that. I was hoping that was okay. That's why they arrested him. No, there's none of that. And it's everything that we've been talking about that we kind of fear. So I'm going to bring them on, and we're going to have again, we're just going to have them tell their story. They're actually logged into my backup, so let's see if this works. We got it.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? I'm Ross.
Hi, Ross.
I like that you're just lounging right there in your bed.
Yeah, I'm on vacation in somewhere, so I was like, I got to be cozy.
Comfy, cozy at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I wish you guys were cozy right now, but I'm sure you guys are sitting on needles a little bit.
Definitely. Not much sleep.
Yeah.
That's insane. Go ahead, Jordan. Take it away.
I bet. So, all right. So we have Katie, and then we have Stacy, and then we have Ruth, which Ruth is around here somewhere. She'll come back around.
She's the technical one.
I love it. Well, first of all, thank you for making this happen and taking the time. I know you guys are going through the unknown. I mean, go ahead and say it again.
It's Ruth.
This is Ruth right here. Yes, this is Casey's wife.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and I kind of want you guys to first tell me about your dad, and your brother Casey. But I would, you know, tell the story. I mean, tell me a bit more about your dad. He was a vet. He's been a pastor. Tell me about his story real quick, and then we'll get into January 6th and then what happened this past week.
It's you, Stace.
Me? So yes, like you said, our dad is a Vietnam vet. He volunteered to fight in the war. He earned a Purple Heart while he was there and a Bronze Star. He signed up to go because he loves his country. He believes in freedom, and he was going there to fight communism. So he was all on board. Yes, he's been a pastor he's 35 years. And he's gone to DC many times just to take tours and everything. And he loves America. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Huge America. Like you said, his wedding, they were all wearing red, white, and blue. He got married first, and everybody wore red, white, and blue. I was born on the 4th of July, truly. So he'll say that. I love America so much. I had a baby on the 4th. So.
Absolutely love it. So, and he volunteered for the draft, right? Yeah,
he did. Absolutely.
So, I mean, man, it's incredible. He volunteered for the draft. A couple months later, he went
Bronze
to
Star too.
Yes, He carried the command radio while he was there.
And crazy stories.
Yeah,
they're entertaining for sure.
Who would have thought? And I went to, I was at your guys' house a couple of days ago, and they have a really nice size house church, and they have the electric drum set, they got the keys, they got the whole thing. I freaking love this. Like, what?
It's like Jordan, we could go there, Jordan, and do a worship set.
Yeah,
I would love the.
Let's do it.
We
me and Jordan are professionals, right? We did that for years.
He told us.
But anyways, so I mean, that's what I loved about here. I mean, or not that I loved it, was the most impacting thing, the fact that they could target someone that has no
because really what your story is, what this whole story is it clarifies for the American people where the tyrannical components of the government are going to. Imagine if you didn't have the money for bail. Imagine if he wasn't 73. Imagine if he was 34 and didn't have family around him that could come on live and do something like this to help raise money, to help raise awareness of something that we all know is absolutely unjust. So why don't you just tell a short version of the story for all the listeners real quick that are on? If you could give a 1 minute and 15-second version of what happened with your dad and then Ruth with your husband and the six that day.
You're up. You were here.
So I was here the morning when they came for my father. I saw the lights from the garage. They were police lights. I ran in the house. I said, "Dad, go to the front door." I thought something must have happened. They're coming to tell us something outside. There was like an accident. So he ran to the door and they were banging. They said, "Open up. We have a warrant." And so he opened the door and they told him to come out. They asked him his name. He said, "James Cusick." They saw me standing in the kitchen. They told me to come outside. They assumed I was Katie. And I said, "No, I'm Stacy." They said, "Okay, put your hands right here." So I put my hands on the back of the sheriff's car. They proceeded to cuff my father. And he stood there. We were in shock. We had no idea. They must have the wrong person. We cannot even figure out why they would be there. So my dad says, "Can I ask why you're here or why this is happening?" And they said, "Because of the events. You were in the Capitol on January 6th. And he said, "Are you serious? You've got to be kidding me. Really?" And he started to tell, we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything wrong. And they said, "Sir, don't say anything or that can be used against you in the court of law. You need to stop talking." And he said, "Okay." So we stood out there probably 5-10 minutes while they searched our home. They came outside and said, "Everything's clear." And, we kind of laughed and said, "Of course it is. We have nothing to hide. You can search anything of ours. We have nothing to hide." So they then took my father inside. What they actually were coming to search for was the articles of clothing that he wore that day. 3 articles of clothing, including a hat, that they were looking for what he wore that day. So I assumed they were going to take those items and leave, but no, they had put him in the car. They were taking him to Orlando to process him in federal prison over in Orlando, which is an hour.
Okay, so did your dad commit any violence? Did he attack the building at all? Did he break a window?
He didn't even chant. He didn't even chant USA. Nothing. Zero. He stood there and looked around. The picture, he's going like this.
In one of the pictures, it's from a body cam of a police officer because he was talking to them and having a conversation. None of them were ever saying to leave. My dad hates vandalism. Anytime we've been to Washington, even if like my sister was younger and she'd be skipping down the steps of Lincoln Memorial, my dad would say, "Stop. You need to be respectful. This is a memorial. You don't act that way." I mean, that's not even being it's not even committing vandalism. That's just being disrespectful in his mind. And he would not stand for it. He said, "You be respectful. This is a memorial." So we know already, you don't even have to show me video or tell me. I know for a fact he wasn't going to commit any vandalism or disorderly conduct on their property. That's just not even true. But they also have proof that he didn't as well. They never broke anything, never touched anything, never went in any rooms they weren't supposed to go into. They were literally in there maybe 8 minutes at the most, and they just walked.
Well, so when didn't he talk to an officer too and ask an officer something like, "Where's the bathroom?" or something?
Talked to an officer, but my brother asked the officer where was the bathroom. He pointed him down the hall, showed him where the bathroom was. My brother said he ended up not using the bathroom because there was 30 people in line to use the bathroom.
Which should tell you how.
Okay, guys. This is so they are brought. They have 10 freaking FBI cars show up to their house, surrounding the house, and these guys were in such cahoots with such terrible initiatives that they stopped to politely ask an officer where the restroom was. And they were so bad that the officer responded with the actual information and directed them towards the restroom.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
how rowdy they were.
Correct.
Certainly seems like it warrants the FBI.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
These guys are a joke, dude. What
Yeah.
a freaking joke.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, there was a line for the bathroom.
Like,
30
like
people.
the basement part.
And in a men's bathroom, what could the women's bathroom look like? Because men's, it's not usually that long. That should tell you how many people were in there.
So your dad,
My
your
God.
brother committed no violence. They were in there for about 8 minutes. They went to the bathroom. They talked to a couple police officers. They walked back out. You also said that in the interview that's going to come out in about a day or two. You said that when they were walking, your dad saw children, moms, dads walking in and out because there was policemen next to the door, and people were just walking in and out because your dad got there around like 3:15 p.m.
I think it was 3:09. They found
Yeah.
it. Of course, the FBI agents are asking my father, what did you wear on January 6th? And he kind of laughed. He goes, I don't remember. What did you wear on January 6th? And they said, can you show it to us? And he said, yeah, I'll point it out to you, so that he went into his closet and showed them. But again, why would he remember what he wore on that day? He wasn't, it's not like in his mind. So where was he at that time? He's like, I don't remember what time it was. Imagine you're just at a rally, you're walking around, you're not looking at your watch every minute. Where am I now? What time is it?
Yeah. Wow.
People just left the Trump rally, mind you, okay? And they just started walking to the Capitol. I mean, tons of people. So you're just in the middle of all these people. There was nothing like, let's go charge the Capitol, let's go destroy. No, there was none of that. They were walking in a huge crowd, singing the national anthem, shouting USA, praying, preaching on the corner.
That's what he was witnessing.
That's what was going on there.
Wow.
All he had was reading glasses, so I don't know what kind
His
of
weapon
damage.
was reading glasses and a cell phone, which now we make a joke. What's your weapon?
That was his weapon.
If they called it a weapon, what do you have?
What could he have hurt them with? He's saying
Reading
his
glasses and his cell phone.
My God.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. Okay, so let's talk to Ruth for a little bit.
You have to it's too far away.
You're good. She's good. All right.
So Ruth is married to Casey, who is the son of James, the pastor that we were just talking about. I mean, your video was the one that pretty much went viral, that really let everyone know what happened, because I don't know if you didn't have that video, I'm not sure if the story would have got out nearly as fast. The fact that you chose to record, we heard what your daughter said, which was the most heartbreaking thing of it all. But take us through that morning. I mean, I know that they got there. What time in the morning?
7:40-ish, something like that. Yeah.
So
I was still in the bedroom, in our bedroom, and Casey was out in the living room with the girls. And he comes in the bedroom. He's like, "There's police here, everywhere." Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I immediately go to the living room to be with the girls so that we can answer the door. And he wasn't dressed, so I waited till he was dressed to answer the door. So then we open the door. We have a dog, and so everybody's like at the door, cramming. A lot is going on at once. I'm thinking that they're going to tell us, or tell me at least, what they're here for. Tell us what they were there for. And so we open the door, and immediately the arresting officer tells Casey to turn around, and he just takes him. And I'm like, wait a second. What? I mean, I'm sure you guys heard the video. You can hear what I said and all of that. But what I later saw in the video that I was like, oh my gosh, is that my daughter sees this guy. The first thing she sees as she's walking out the door is this guy with an AR-15. And then the other guy has his gun drawn, and she just walks right by him. And I mean, for a child, she's never seen a gun like that before. She's wondering what all of these officers are doing at our door.
How many would you say were there?
I think maybe 10.
Okay.
I'd say maybe 10 or so. I didn't really count them, but
They were coming to his place to get a jacket also and a beanie. So
Yeah.
just remember what they're there to find. Nothing really incriminating except a beanie that said Trump and a jacket.
You know what's so frustrating about all this? When you watch the first 48, it's like they spent on murder cases, they spend like 48 hours, and if they don't solve it, they just leave. But
Yeah.
even if they rounded up every single person that did every single illegal thing on January 6th,
Yeah.
none of it was even equivalent to a murder. And they
No.
had 10 officers show up at your house, one of
Right.
the 500 people that may or may not have gone in the door at
Yeah.
the Capitol, and there's 10 FBI agents that are assigned to it, and it's
Yeah.
not even a murder case. Worst
Right.
case scenario, he gets like a year and a half or something. This is such a joke. This
Yeah.
is such a joke. No
Yeah.
wonder. Dude, the FBI are so worthless. My
Mhm.
God. Sorry, FBI, if you're listening, but get a better job. This sucks now.
Mhm.
The one of the attorneys that I talked to when we went to go pick him up, I kind of had that conversation with him, like how crazy is this? And he said, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we looked up, there are misdemeanors in federal court, but nothing like this. I mean, this is, someone called it glorified trespassing. That's what
Right.
it is. Trying to
Hold
get,
on. So they charge you with they charge them with a misdemeanor,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
and they brought 10 plus agents with
Yeah.
with
Being watched.
Wow.
They've
Yeah,
been
they
being
follow
followed. Also, I was pulled over by an undercover agent about 3 weeks ago, and I had no idea it was linked to this. But now looking back, it had to have been linked to this. And Ruth Casey was also being followed.
To the home
What were
Depot.
they? What the heck were they asking you? What your favorite popsicles were? Because that's relevant.
I guess just
We don't know.
see her, look at her. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just sick. So,
so
if
okay, so tell me
you should know that we're
Did-
not like reporting drugs in the bedroom or something. I mean, you've clearly been watching us for a few weeks. I don't know.
So real-
did they at
real
least
quick.
seem to feel like they had like a sense of it was like the first time they were allowed to play with a gun, and so they shot everything? Did they
Yeah.
did it seem like they had a sense of that? Like, did they feel stupid a little bit? Could you tell that they felt a little stupid for how overblown this was? Or no?
Well, immediately, Casey shut the door when he went out, and they were like, no, do not close the door. We need visible sight or whatever, which, okay, I get their side, but at the same time, he's got 2 little girls. They're like babies. So once they open the door, I mean, you have a huge gun, all these guys. You can't at least, like, have some respect. This is traumatizing to 2 babies. That's not at all, like, just push him to the side for a second and let him move the kids.
Right. For
Wow.
a trespassing warrant.
Right.
That's basically what this is. This is such a joke. I'm so glad you're telling the story.
They were in our home with my dad. There's 12 agents in our home, which let me just tell you, that feels awkward. I mean, it feels very like you're being violated right there because you have no say. And I had a female officer assigned to me. So no matter where I went in my home, she had to follow me. If I went to the bathroom, she had to go to the bathroom. If I went to my room, she followed me to my room. So
all right, so
I had no rights.
all right, so real quick for everyone that's just chiming in, because I'm sure we've had some people just hop in the last 10 minutes. We were talking to the Cusick family. Their dad and their brother are the ones that were arrested for the January 6th events a couple of days ago. They had 10 agents show up at their place randomly, no warning, and they committed no violence, no vandalizing. They did nothing. I mean, they're being charged with misdemeanors, and they had the FBI show up at their place. Like, that is not normal. So real quick, Ruth, you were telling me that they were following Casey for a couple weeks before that. How did you find that out?
Well, I don't know how. Casey is just this way. He gets information out of people just by talking to him. He's very personable. He's a huge teddy bear, basically. But he, I don't know how, somehow he started talking to the arresting officer, and he said something like, where's your truck? And then I think he answered that by asking him a question, like, have you been,
What do you mean?
like, what do you mean? Yeah, or like, and then he said, well, I know you had a truck. Maybe he asked him, like,
How do you know that?
watching me or something? Yeah, something like that. Or how long? And then he said, well, I know that you got wood at Home Depot the other day.
I
or
saw that you
however.
went there.
And their truck's been gone for a few weeks.
Yeah,
They're
it's
getting it
been-
repaired. So that's
been
how
gone
we knew a
for a while.
timeline. Yeah.
So I was like, dang, that's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy too. If you've been planning this, I mean, she was in Michigan for 2 weeks with the kids. Like, you could have since you have been watching the house, you could have done there when he had no children in the house or his wife. It would have just been him. But, you know, as soon as she gets back from Michigan with the girls, this goes down.
So what has it been like post that? I mean, well, one, what charges are they facing? I mean, I know you said they're both, it's 3 different accounts on misdemeanors. Are they being charged for violence? Are you still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they being charged for violence?
Yeah, violent entry.
Well, because now I guess it's interpreted as like something like being loud or
raising your voice
or
is violent.
Basically, as everyone knows now on Instagram and everywhere, is if somebody is offended by you, they will.
Oh my gosh!
So this is what made me so frustrated about this is, and we talked about this when I was at your guys' house. Was last week we had the district attorney of the Bronx drop 78 charges, 118 arrests for every BLM rioter and looter that destroyed the Bronx.
And they had the pictures of their faces. They knew who they were. They
had the videos of their faces. I mean, it was pictures, videos, and they dropped all of the charges. And they stole, they destroyed property, they looted. This past summer, we already know what happened last summer or a year ago with the riots in Portland. 99% of all of the charges from Antifa from the entire summer of rioting and looting, 99% of all the charges dropped. And then you got a pastor and you have his son. He's a vet. He served the country, doesn't have a crime, and they show up to his place with 10 plus agents because he went to the bathroom and didn't commit any violence. And now you have the FBI showing up at the place. Go ahead.
While the agents were in our home, I kept saying, he's a good man. He doesn't deserve this. You know, he's a patriot. He loves God. And what you're doing here, it doesn't warrant anything that he could have done. And they said, ma'am, he did break the law. They just kept bringing it back to he broke the law. So technically, I guess anybody could have broken the law. We ran through a stop sign. You rolled through a stop sign. You missed, red light. I guess, you know what I mean? They just boiled down to he did break the law. But I don't think it warrants what happened here, honestly.
No, not at all. So real quick, so then how's your dad and your brother doing? How's Casey doing, Ruth?
He's doing better now. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. It's like ups and downs. I mean, for everyone, it's like you get emotional. Things come on you. It's like day by day, you process, and then you get hopeful again. I mean, we're overall hopeful because we know that God is on our side. Like,
amen.
We know that we have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
But like just the emotional draining of it is like what we're trying to process. And he the same, loves America. He is like wanting to show people that this is not normal. It's not normal for, and it's not okay for the government to be so big and so into the citizens' business. And
no, it's so true. And then tell me real quick. I remember about the courthouse.
Well, the dad.
Yeah, that was. We walked in and Casey and Dad are sitting there, and they're shackled at the hands and the feet with the chain around them to connect it.
Hold on. So they shackled him on his hands. This is your dad?
Mm-hmm.
So a 73-year-old man, hands, feet, and then they put a bar like around his waist.
Like
a belt.
Like a
like
chain,
a belt.
like a chain
To keep
like
his
you put her
hands attached.
on a dog's throat. Well, I mean, we saw our mom dying of cancer, which obviously is not easy, but there was nothing compared to seeing him in handcuffs.
Oh.
So much worse.
I mean, this is like what you would do to a literal terrorist.
Yeah.
Hold on. Your mother died from cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The pastor's wife?
Mm-hmm. So,
How long ago was that?
About 9 years ago.
2012.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous, man.
grateful that she was not in the
here
house
to see it.
to see that. That is like the one good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys, this,
Golly.
it's like everything that we've talked about when it comes to it sucks when the reality sets that the institutions that were meant to protect us are now being used to target us. And, you know, people can say that's conspiracy, no. Like,
No,
you literally
it's not.
just contrast what the district attorneys are doing all over this country, what the leftist politicians, the attorney generals, look at what they're doing, the way that they're treating Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and you compare to, I mean, I just got off the phone with another guy yesterday who just got out of prison, was there for 45 days, and there's over 400 people locked up in there still.
Mm-hmm.
Over 400 people.
Are still in jail right now from 6-7 months ago, some event.
And they're putting them in a psychiatric cell.
That's
Unbelievable.
more freaked out when they said they've been arrested, because we didn't know where this is going. We didn't know it was going to be
Where are they
just,
taking him?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to him?
how long is he going to be gone? And
Sure.
that's where it's hard. Is he's 73 years old. He's old. You know, I mean, he doesn't consider himself old, but to us, you know,
Yeah,
it's elderly. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
and if you get sat down, you lose your muscle. You lose your muscle strength. You lose you start to lose like your rhythms in your life, and it's hard to get that back. If you're over 60 years old and you change up your life like that, you can take off 10 years so fast. So, guys, Jordan, have we already announced the fundraiser that we're doing? Can we just announce to everybody right now?
Announce it.
Okay, guys, we have a fundraiser on here. If you click my link or my bio and my link, or probably Jordan's too, mine it's the very first one. It says Cusick Fundraiser. You guys can go on there and help take care of some of these stinking legal fees for them. It doesn't matter if you give $1, if you give $5, if you give $100, whatever the heck you can. We as patriots have to stick together now more than ever before, because we're not the people that are being talked about anymore. Because they're stopping every single time we start talking. So, guys, please go to my bio. The very first link in my link tree is the Cusick Fundraiser. Give as much as you can. Give as much as you can donate. Go there now and come right back when you're done, so you can see the last 20 minutes of this. But just go there now and just do it real quick, and then come right back. And then when you come back, say, I just donated, so we can.
Well,
one disclosure,
because I just looked at it and it looks like it's not officially active yet. And so I think we need to add one. What are we still working on that on the fundraiser side? Yes, she's like, yes. Okay.
We were live.
Just kidding, everybody. Just kidding, everybody. Hold on for a second. Hang on for a second. Just wait a couple more minutes. When is it going to be ready?
It'll be ready when this interview is over and we can give our full attention to it. It just happened quickly, but we want to say we're not just on here like, oh, feel sorry for us. Our dad and brother were arrested and, you know, everything that happened. It's more about like, hello, this is what's coming to anybody. They can find any reason to lock you up. The FBI can be watching you for weeks on end, follow you around, and then because they have all the rules, they control the game. And that's what we're saying, like, just wake up to everybody and pay attention. The good thing about all these patriots coming together is we look out for each other. I mean, the lawyer we found was from a patriot that I met at a Health and Freedom conference. So everybody takes care of everybody in this situation, which is what it should be.
No, I love that you said that, because it's so true.
I feel bad. I wonder how many people left and were like, I can't do it. And they're about to come back and be like, what do I do now?
Well, no.
Did you donate? I wasn't able to. Too bad. Everybody else donated. Sorry, just kidding.
No, we'll have it up in the next 10 minutes, because we created this like right before the live. I sent them the login. We were trying to get the email verified, so it will be up. And the reason why we're raising funds, because I'll speak for you guys. You know, I know that the retainer for the lawyer, you have two different individuals that you have to retain a lawyer for, or three different individuals. Three different individuals that they have to retain a lawyer. The fees, this case could go on for a long time. I talked to one person that, you know, works in law, and they're like, oh, this thing's going to get dragged out. And if that ends up being the case, the legal fees can be very, very expensive. Plus, I'm not sure if this is going to be affecting their work because, again, we don't even know the backlash of what this looks like on the back end. Because right now, we saw what the media did. The media is labeling James and Casey as white supremacists. They're labeling them as domestic terrorists. They're throwing all these labels. You can read the articles, and they're just destroying their name and their reputation. This is where conservatives and patriots, we come together. And it'd be one thing if they were committing violence, they brought in a weapon,
Absolutely.
they were literally going there to overtake the government. If that was the case,
and defend them if they were doing that.
No.
For sure.
We would not.
And I fully believe that because I met your family and I had such a good time with you guys. And I mean, this entire family are patriots. We're talking about somebody that volunteered to go to war because he loved his country. And his entire family. Casey's the exact same way. It's just an incredible family. And so, again, if it doesn't allow you, I mean, there's a link in both of our bios. If you click that link, it'll take you straight to the fundraiser. We should have this thing up in the next 20 minutes. If it doesn't end up working, make sure you personally DM me, direct message me. I'll make sure, if you want to go check it out, and if it's not working, just DM me and I'll personally send you the link when it is officially up. And we'll definitely send this out in our newsletter and everything. And we have an interview coming out in about a day or two as well. Stacy, you're gonna say something?
Say one more thing. My dad has said this many times in our services, our Bible study. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. That's why we're speaking out.
Wow.
Any of us.
The ants pick the food. The ants keep the food. You suckers. Remember the Bugs Life or Ants, whatever movie that is, where they start actually standing up against the grasshoppers? This is getting ridiculous. There's plenty of us, guys. Push this thing around. Every single person get on this bad boy because this is going to fund a movement. This is going to fuel a movement. This is just part one, the first domino that's going to start falling for people going, we're done with this nonsense. It doesn't make any rational sense. If all 5 of us were like, let's become FBI agents, and somebody brought this case to us, we'd be like, this is stupid, right? And we'd all go, yeah, this is stupid. And then we'd go, so let's not do it. Next. And we go to the next one. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. These guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Katie.
What? Say it again.
And you can't think for yourself in America anymore.
Yeah, so we're doing, and not to crap on the FBI agents. I'm sure they signed up to do good things for America. I think they thought it would be that. Guys who are listening, who are probably FBI agents, if you are listening, please try to do good things, and then tell the people above you that this is one of the stupid ones, so that this can stop happening, and we don't have to go make a fundraiser for you doing stupid things.
That's right. When they were arresting my dad, like I said, I kept speaking out in his defense. And they said, yes, we know, we can tell. But please understand, we're just doing our job. We can tell he's a good man, but we're just doing our job. To me,
not a
that
good
was
enough answer.
disturbing.
Yeah, because that means you know better.
Yeah, we're just doing our job. Sorry, this is really inconvenient for everybody and makes no rational sense. But we're too weak to speak out up towards our chain of command.
Yep.
That's what that means.
That's what that means.
And that's all over the country. Too weak to speak out.
Yeah, do you guys, Katie or Ruth, do you guys have want to say anything before we say any final thoughts?
Oh boy. I mean, I don't really know what to say except for what Stacy said in the interview at the very end is just know the Constitution, know your rights. I know for myself, like when I was in school, I was never really into history at all until like a year and a half ago. That's when I really started looking into things. And I was like, this is nuts. This is nuts.
And when you married into this family.
Oh, yeah. And I up with everything after marrying.
We had to take her to D.C. We had to show her around.
And I love it, actually, yeah.
She had no... What your shirts at when you go?
Oh my gosh.
I just went to a rally. I brought her a Make America Born Again shirt. That's what she was wearing when the FBI showed up.
Oh, I love it. Oh
She
my God.
to them in her own way.
Hey, you were ministry. It was like the tracks, but it was a T-shirt.
Unbelievable, man.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Stacy, Katie, Ruth, thank you for taking the time doing this. I know you guys are put on a smile for us tonight, and but we're praying for you guys.
Yeah, because
and
this stuff is scary. Like even though you all know that there's a microscope on you right now and all that, and it's almost like there's extracurricular grace that the Lord sends down for times like these, and that stuff's all true and good. But that doesn't make it less weird that the government that you're literally saying, we have loved this government, comes for you when you were asking an officer where the toilet is.
Yeah, you're right. No, and for sure it was God's grace that it was the Holy Spirit telling me okay, turn your camera on. Okay, now say this, now say that. And it's just so fast. It happened so fast that even hearing my voice afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh, I sound so calming. And I give that, to God. He gives you grace to go through tough times.
Yes.
And
but Ruth, I will say you're a badass for doing it because you thought about it. Seriously, you thought about that is something when you have the FBI show up. It's not every day that happens.
Oh no.
Oh hey, I was sleeping and there's 10 agents outside and you kind of get frozen. So the fact that you did that, I mean, I saw you were handling your 3-year-old daughter, your baby. There's the dog barking. The agents are saying, "Hey, get your damn dog," and you're like,
"All your dog," as if you have control in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact
maybe don't roll up at 7:40 with 10 cars. Maybe send an email, you assholes.
Father.
How about that?
But she was prepared in season and out.
That's right. No, seriously, Ruth. Awesome. We love you guys and we appreciate your guys' story.
Yeah, hang in there, man. You guys hang in there and keep following us on here and we'll keep pumping the story out. I'm going to leave it in my bio for at least 48 hours to get as much fundraising as we can. And I'll try to post another ad. Jordan, I'm sure you guys will create one for it. Just send it to me. I'll post it. We can get as much money to these guys as we can. And just hang in there, guys. We'll keep touting. Thanks for being the tip of the spear on this one. Sorry you had to go through the door first and get all this nonsense, but it's coming for everybody, like you said. So either we do something now or we're going to lose everything.
Exactly.
Yep.
You're right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ruth, Ross, stay on, and then we will. Sorry, Ruth. Ruth, good to see ya. All right, guys. Oh, man. Ross, so, dude, it's just sad. It's sad that this is America, and we've talked about this, man. We've talked about, hey, we don't. I mean, I don't know if you call it communism or whatever, but it's we're seeing people be targeted, in the beginning of a lot of these different movements, and when you're targeting a guy like James Cusick, who served his country, volunteered, fought in the war, has been a missionary his whole life, traveled all over the world as a missionary, never has committed a crime in his life. And, you got 2 pictures of one, him looking up top, and another him talking to a police officer. And you're going to show up with 10 to 15 agents and then put them in shackles.
It's just such a lack of respect, man, and that's okay. That can fly when there's everything's processed, everything's whatever. But we have the manpower in our government to actually give a shit a little bit about the people. And they just missed the boat. They missed the target on this one so hard that it seems intentional, and it's I bet you they were told to crack down as hard as you could against anybody in this particular section because they're trying to drive out extremism. There's nothing extreme about doing what the Constitution says. And it says to challenge bad elections, believe it or not. And that's what we're still doing. And there's nothing evil or wrong about saying that we should be looking more into these elections. And there was nothing wrong about going into the White House or the Capitol that day, asking the police officer or whatever. If it was illegal, they shouldn't have done it. But they were talking to an officer, dude. This is a joke. And so, anyway, my fundraiser is going to be up, guys, as long as I can keep it up there. Probably, it might be a week. Who cares?
Yeah, we'll keep it up for these next couple of days. We're going to be pushing it. I have an interview coming with them.
They're going to open it in the next 30 minutes or so, guys. So everybody keeps asking. So hold your money, please. In 30 minutes, go check it out and see if you get it all done. and then let us know if you did, so we can be excited that we helped create money for those people. And
Yes.
that's just a cool feeling, you know. We want to know that we helped do that with just this one live, man.
Yes, please check this website, and then in like 30 minutes to an hour from now, it will be up. We literally created this fundraiser like an hour before we got on. We're like, you know what, let's do this. We're going to take the risk. We're going to step out. They have to verify some bank info so that there's an actual beneficiary.
Who is it through, Jordan? Who's the people doing it?
Give, Send. Speak Truth Without Fear is setting it up, but it's going through Give, Send, Go, which is like a
Give, Send, Go. Okay.
Yeah, it's through the platform Give, Send, Go. So if you go to our bio, you click that link. You can also share the link. Yes, Yadi, you can share it. And then there's going to be a video coming out tomorrow or the day after, which is where I interview all three sisters, and we go into a lot more detail of the conversation. And we'll be promoting this, and I'm going to be sending this to all my friends, everyone that's been on Speak Truth Without Fear. I'm going to be sending them this fundraiser, because we have to make sure. I mean, Democrats and the left, what happened when all these BLM and Antifas got arrested? Kamala Harris gave to the fund. She set up a fund to get them out. So if Kamala Harris can, and a lot of these left organizations can go and take care of BLM rioters and Antifa rioters, then we can take care of one of our own. And I think that's the call. So make sure you guys share the page. Please don't forget, check it out in the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes. If it doesn't pop up by tonight, DM me. I will figure out a way to make sure that we'll make sure that it's up by tonight. So
yeah. And then also don't forget to, you know what, Jordan, you know what we ought to do? We ought to do like an ad for this, dude. Like make a full blown, like a 30-second fundraiser ad like we did for that other video. We ought to get together in a week and try to make one of these, and just hopefully that thing goes viral.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And we'll just send it to everybody, because I know everyone, you know, a lot of people have already reached out like, hey, let us know when it's ready. We will share this thing. We'll donate. We're going to be there for them, because the retainer fees alone are tens of thousands of dollars. Just that alone, like without even starting the case. So they have a lot of money that they're going to need. We're going to need to bless them. And so I hope we can make that happen. Make sure everybody, speaktruthwithoutfear.com, put in your email, because if you put in your email, we will be sending you a newsletter every single Saturday. It'll have the fundraiser links in there. It'll have our new articles that were out. It'll have our podcast updates. Everything Speak Truth Without Fear will be in that newsletter. Make sure you go there, speaktruthwithoutfear.com, and then double check the fundraiser. Ross, you got anything final to say?
No, man, hang in there, everybody. I'm on vacation. I'm going to go try to catch some more fish and relax with the family, but hang in there, man. We're never done. We're never done. Right.
Well, bro, it's good seeing you. Enjoy the rest of the week, man.
You too, man. God bless, bro. Good to be on with you.
We'll see you guys tomorrow night.